Okay, I want to do a quick intro video here on how to use the label connector from AccuWare, how to use our label designer. When you're using the label designer, it's on its own page here that's separate from the home page. The home page is kind of where you do all your searching and farming of data, and then you'll use the label design that you're going to create in the designer. But this video is going to focus on designing your label. Okay, so what I've done is I've pre-created like a demo label here, and I'm going to kind of go back through um, each of these things, deleting each of these elements and re-adding them and showing you how each one works. But basically, when you first make a new label, it's just going to ask you for the label dimensions, and the width of the label should always be the width, across. Um, this is where the perf would be between labels generally, and then the height of the label should be the feed direction, the movement direction of the label when it feeds. Okay, so, but anyway, so we've got these basic elements. We'll divide each one into chapters for you here, so you can just skip to the area that you want to get solved. But we got images, two types of text fields. We've got lines, shapes, and barcodes. Okay, and really each one of these, we could do an in-depth video on each one individually. But you can also reach out to us on the support team here. But basically, we also have expressions that can be created where we combine variables and do math on them and things like that. I've got that in a separate video that we'll publish for you. So that's a more rare case of what's going to be used most frequently. So I'll try to go through this in the order of kind of like frequency of use. So basically what I'm showing here is a text field that's been combined with like your item or product name, and you can see it's been tied to like a dynamic field from your accounting software because it has this diskette hard drive symbol in the corner, kind of the database symbol, right? So so basically let's just remove this for now, and we're going to re-add that. So basically when you want to add a text field, just grab the A and drag it down. Okay, and then if you want to relate that or tie it to a piece of dynamic data that's in your labeling software, in your accounting software, you basically just go down to, by pressing this text tool here, you go down to the list of all the supported data and just drag that element onto here, and you can see it also carries that connected sort of symbol saying, okay, I'm connected to your accounting data. And usually with the description, you're going to want to probably stretch that out. And then you can also get into, now when you go over here to the settings, when you've got the handles on a particular field, that means the settings that get enforced have to do with that field, right? So we usually encourage you to use multi-line and word wrap if you're going to do a description, but that's just for like longer fields like that are going to be multiple lines. So that's a database connected or accounting software connected field. And it's just that easy. We have a long list of supported fields that we just make it so you can drag elements over. We even support entry fields where you can type in data on the query screen, the other search screen, and in case those are fields that can't be farmed out of your accounting software, you can do like prompted or empty entry fields right on the label as kind of a workaround for ways that you don't have data like in your accounting software. And then the other type of text field is like a static type of a field where you might need something on the label, like you could have this. You just double click right into this. I'm going to delete this and just show you how to add it from scratch. So basically just go up here, highlight that, we'll remove it. Now, if you want to just do a static field, which is something that's not driven by the data in your accounting software, you just, again, grab this A and you pull it down here, and then you can just just literally just type right, double click into the box and just type, and it looks small at first, but then when you click away, it lets you, make that font any size you want. So again, when you highlight this, you can go over to the settings, and then the settings that are enforced appear here. And one thing that is a little bit hidden semi is the font size, so you can just increase the font size. You can just make it so that you're going to use larger fonts for that. So basically, two types of text fields. One's dynamically driven from your accounting software. The other one is statically driven, and it's just whatever you typed into the box, okay? Probably the next most common and probably mission critical item would be barcodes. So I'm going to remove this one and we'll re-add it. But you see I got a data source connected barcode. So if I remove this, again, you can take some of our macros and just use those, but I'm just going to show you kind of the slightly more long-winded way to do it. Basically, you just drag down a generic barcode, and then again, over here from the data source list, if you wanted to pull in a value from your accounting software, then you can just drag that value, onto the label into that barcode box, and now you see that this barcode and the data that'll be in it is driven by whatever that value is in your accounting software. So you could use any value. So basically, in a way, a barcode is just like a data source, like a database-driven text field, but now you can just drive that barcode value of data, from anything from your accounting software. And then if you get into some of the settings, you'll see here under symbologies, let's see, right there, you can see we support a whole long list of all the common symbologies, right? Like code 128, of course, is the most common 1D barcode. We do support QR codes shown right there, which most consumers know about. And then the other 2D barcode that's very popular is data matrix. There is some remaining like use out in the field for code 39, but not that often. So basically you can set the different parameters, like the module size for the barcode to like change, the way it'll appear. We don't change that dynamically right on the preview for you, but we can change the module thickness, of the bars for you. And then we can elect to show the text below the barcode or not. Be careful with that, because if the text and the font used for the barcode is too large, it can take away from some of the height of the barcode. So sometimes it's better to almost not show the text of the barcode and then like define the area for that, and then like use like a separate text field that you create to carry that same data that's in the barcode. And that way there you can control like the exact, with more precision, like that data, how big it's going to be, what its font's going to be, and you can take advantage of all these features for the text field. We do get into color fonts, font styles of really many types, so it's very featured, for the fonts as well. So then moving on to lines, if you want to kind of have sections on your label, it's pretty easy to just, again, drag the tool down, pull it across the label, and then if you go to the settings once again, for that shape, usually what you're doing is just maybe thickening up that line on here, to make it so it's kind of show it more thickness. If I save this here, some things show in the preview that are like static fields and things, and some things don't, that are more the dynamic fields. And then lastly, so we got lines if you want to have sections on the label. Actually, then we get into the shapes next. So if we drag over the shapes icon here, this defaults to ellipse, but you can easily change that to rectangle. It's kind of handy if you want to have like a section of the label that's like enclosed by a box or something like this, to kind of make your label look sharper. And again, we're some of the settings in there let you like thicken up the box thickness and things like that, so you can work with the box and design it the way you want. So that's kind of lines and shapes. And then lastly, logos. Get a lot of questions about using logos on the label. So basically, we'll remove this real quick. You drag the images icon down onto the label, and then this is a little bit hidden, but you got to go over here to the settings for the image and select the data source for the image source right here. And it's kind of a little subtle, so you click on those three dots and you grab the image right here off of your local computer, and then we recommend you can use squeeze as like the way to kind of get a feel for like where it's going to be on the label. And then like if you can close, if you keep the aspect ratio similar to the image, it'll stretch out to fit onto the space that you want to allot for that. Usually people want their logo on the label, things like that. In some cases, that's when that's used. If you're using a thermal printer, by the way, it is best to use a black and white only image or like monochrome, because label printers, just by their nature, are just one color really. They print in black only. In fact, grayscale is even okay, but it's discouraged. You want it to be like a hard black or white on the image, usually, just for the best crispness. So I hope this helps answer any questions. You can certainly look at some of our more focused videos on YouTube and our support pages at accuware-inc.com. Give us a call anytime. We'll have the contact information if you look in the description details. Thank you.